Welcome to your Pilates Reformer workout. Today we are going to do an ab-focused workout. So today is going to be all about the core. Last week I posted a workout about how I like to trick myself into working hard when I don't necessarily feel like working out, but we're going to take a similar approach today. So we'll start off slow and steady and we'll build up to some of those more challenging progressions. We will start with the headrest up. I have 2 heavy springs on, and before we get started, please subscribe. If you're not yet subscribed, I post new workouts all the time. And if you want to take your practice to the next level, sign up for my membership. I have exclusive videos, weekly workout plans, extended workouts, sessions anywhere from 5 to 70 minutes. And that's the place where we really get into a lot of like fun variations and prop work. So if you want something a little extra, I really think you'll like that. The link is in the description box down below. I hope to see you there. Meet me lying down on the reformer. Let's get started. So if you've been with me before, you may know that I have an obsession with working the deep core. This video will be no exception, but we will leave no stone unturned. When you're ready, we're going to take the straps, place them over the thighs, around the thighs. So scoot past your foot, scoot past the knee, and place that loop around the thigh like a garter. Now, if you have long loops and short loops on your machine, you can use the long loops if that feels better. It's up to you. We will find a tabletop with the straps wrapped around our thighs. Find a nice neutral spine or imprinted spine if you feel you need a little more support in your abdominals. So neutral is going to be a nice natural curve in your low back. Imprint is going to be a little tuck under, flattening the spine into the mat. When we're ready, we're going to keep this tabletop position, this right ankle. We're going to lower the toes down toward the spring well. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees right back up to tabletop, pausing with the knees right over hips to start. We lower the legs down, pushing into the straps. And as we come up, we exhale to bring the deep core on, bring those knees back to starting. Good. We're going to continue on. We're taking great care to make sure that the abdomen doesn't bulge out as the legs lower or lift. And we're also making sure that the back doesn't arch underneath us. We really want to keep control of the spine, a nice, quiet, neutral pelvis or imprinted spine. Now, as we come in, we can start bringing the knees a little closer into the chest just to see how that feels on the lower abdominals. And bring the knees further in. So you'll see I'm also moving with a lot of slow control and intention here. I'm not letting the springs do the work for me on the way up. Defeats the purpose, and frankly, you're wasting half of the movement. So if you can, as best as you can, we're going to really slow it down, try to feel that slow control as we return. That will give us this deep core activation that we're really looking for. Good. Doing our best to feel that sensation of the hip bones pulling together as the knees come back in. And you'll see as the knees come in, I'm letting the knees bend a little bit more past that 90 degrees. I'm not keeping the 90 and letting the pelvis lift up. That's not what we're going for. We're keeping the knees at 90 degrees as the legs lower and letting the knee bend a little bit more as the knees come forward. Let's take 2 more. This is just a great foundational core warm-up to get the transverse abdominis really active to support us through more challenging exercises to come. Last one. Good. Now back to tabletop. We're going to switch to our diamond shape position. So my knees are bent, my heels are together, and my toes are apart, otherwise known as a frog. We're going to take this same shape, lower the legs down, keeping the abdomen drawn, nice and engaged, and then bring the shape knees come toward the chest. Good. We lower the heels down, keeping the knees bent at the same angle the whole time. Now drawing the carriage back, letting the knees come in toward the chest. So for this one, as the knees come in, I'm not having to compress the knees more to let the knees come a little closer to my chest. But you can play around with that positioning. The same goal applies. We want to feel those internal obliques start to kick on in addition to the transverse abdominis. So what does that mean? Many of us don't know where those muscles are. I sure didn't before studying Pilates. We really want to feel all those core muscles around your hip bones that kind of hug on the sides start to activate. as the legs move up and down. In addition to that sense of the deepest layer of your abs under your belly button, sort of below, between your belly button and above your pubic bone, tightening as well. Good. Let's take 2 more. Slow and steady. Good. Last one. Good. Now we'll incorporate some movement. We're going to take that shape down, bring the knees together, raise it back up. Open the knees at the top, heels stay together, lower that shape down, close the knees. So we're drawing circles with the knees. Bring the knees up, open the knees, heels stay together, lower down, knees come together, and up. Again. And close up. 4 more like this. Keeping your spine nice and stable, whether you're in your neutral or your imprinted spine. And the goal is to get to feel your abs engaging and feel control in a neutral eventually. But if you need to, work in an imprint before then. You guessed it probably, we're going to reverse now. Keep the legs together, knees and ankles squeezed. We're going to lower the feet down, keep the heels together, open the knees wide, bring that shape back up. Close the knees, lower down, open the knees, heels stay together, and lift. 6 more. Close, lower, open, and lift. Close, lower, open, and lift. 4 more. Lower, open, and lift. And you can kind of check how much control your abs have just by placing a hand softly on your abdomen. If you feel a fluttering of this area between your belly button and your pubic bone sort of like bobbing in and out, just means you're losing a little bit of control. Let's do 1 more as a bonus, shall we? Good, and that's it. Rest, hug your knees into your chest. Rock your knees side to side. Good, arms down by your sides. We're going to extend the legs up to the ceiling. Bring your legs to Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. Now we're going to try a lower and lift with the legs. This straps, in this case, you may think those are to work the legs. Really what they're going to do is take some of the weight of your legs off of your abdomen as you're lowering and lifting them. So let's take a shot, shall we? Legs extend up, heels together, toes apart. We lower down and lift up. Lower down and lift up. Now this can be as small as you like, or it can be as large as you can control. So what do I mean by that? You can take the legs basically all the way down as long as you are keeping the abdomen controlled. You're not arching in the spine. You're not feeling back pain as you do this one. And if you're ready to find a curl up with the head, neck, and chest, you can always do that. You can reach your arms forward, relaxing your shoulders back. So if we were to do this one without the thighs and the straps, there would be a little more demand on the abs. And spoiler, we might do something like that soon. Let's do 2 more. And 1. Good, rest, legs to tabletop. Rest your feet, rock your head side to side. Good, while we've got these straps on the thighs, let's do the 100 with the thighs and straps. So for the uninitiated, the 100 is a breathing and core exercise where we place the arms by our sides. Our legs are either in tabletop or extended out, or ideally in a curl, and we're gonna pump the arms. Breathe in for a count of 5 and exhale for a count of 5. So just to recap, less intense, your legs will be in tabletop. More intense, your legs can be extended up or all the way down if you can. Head will be down for more beginner work. Head will be lifted for more intermediate advanced. When you're ready, let's find our position. I'll start off in our tabletop just to do it with you. Arms down, we're gonna inhale, pump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you're in your curl, make sure you're really trying to lift the bottom tips of the shoulder blades up off the mat. I'm going to extend out to my low point. This is our more advanced. version of the 100. Halfway there. Inhale, exhale. And we want this pump fast enough and firm enough that we feel the core being agitated. Now you're forced to stabilize. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Exhale. Good. Bend your knees, lower down. Take the straps off of the thighs. When you're ready, we will place the loops down by your sides. We're going to roll up and move to our pelvic lift. So I'm going to come up. I'll place on 3 heavy springs and 1 light spring. Now it's important that we lower our headrest here, because if we leave the headrest up, spoiler, we're going to lift the hips up, we risk crunching the cervical spine a little bit. And I assure you that's not very comfortable, not very good for you long term. So when the headrest is down, when you have changed your springs, you'll lie back down with me. Head will be on the headrest, arms by your sides. Your feet will be on the outer corners. Now, a mistake I see people making in studio all the time, super common, not a huge deal, but we really want to come to an external rotation. So what does that mean? If your knees are pointed up toward the ceiling, we want to just let the hips open and think about bringing your knees a little bit more toward either wall on the side. Big breath in, trying to keep the carriage as still as we can. We're going to lift up only as high as about a fist height above the mat. So I don't want to be up in my full bridge. I just want to be high enough that my butt's hovering above the mat just a little bit. Head stays down. And we lower down. Exhale, lift. And lower. So we can really make this one all about the thighs, the glutes and thighs. But that's not really the goal right now. So just as we talked about in that first part of the workout where we were engaging the deep core, we want to feel like the hip bones are drawing together, and we're using these lower abdominals and those deep abdominals especially to lift your body up and down. If you feel like you're pushing away from the carriage too much, place your feet a little further on top of the bar instead of on the side. That can help as well. Now that said, if you feel glutes and hamstrings, that's fine. That's totally normal. But we want to focus a lot of that energy in that lower abdominal region. Exhaling as you come up. Inhaling as you lower down. Exhaling. And lowering. I'm going to take 5 more. This is 3. If you're still a little winded from the 100, use this chance to really focus on the breath and catch up. Good, I think we have 2 more. I lost count. That sounds about right. And hold in your tiny hover. Now, here, we're just going to pulse the hips up another 2 inches and lower down. So instead of this being all about the glutes, still trying to keep that attention to your low abs. It's not a problem if the glutes come on. That makes sense. But we want more from the abdominals in this situation. Good, 5 more pulses. Final 3, 2, and 1. Pause in your hover. Now we extend the legs straight out and bend your knees in with control. I'm just going to move my hair so it doesn't drag on the ground. Press your legs straight, keeping the hips up, and come in with control. So I'm trying my best to keep my rib cage heavy, not gripping the upper abs to do that. But I just want to imagine, like, my favorite cue is there's a heavy cat that just came and sat on my rib cage. So we're not popping the ribs and losing control of the abdomen. Good. So again, really nice control on the way out and on the way in. We want to feel like we're resisting the springs rather than letting ourselves be carried by them. Good. Let's do 3 more. Keep breathing. Relax your shoulders. Yes, I'm telling you because I needed to tell myself to. So if I need to hear it, you probably need to hear it too. Bring it halfway in, little pulses back and forth. So moving the carriage up and down. Good, you've got 6 more. Probably feeling more glutes and thighs on this one. Last 2 and 1. Bring the carriage almost all the way in. Let's hold. 5, 4, oh, I feel a little shaky. 2 and 1. Lower it down. Very nice. Rest your hips down to the mat. Take a little spine twist. You're going to take both knees over to the right, eyes in the opposite direction, over to the left. Big breath in. Let it go. Let's take the other side. Knees go to the left, eyes go to the right. Big breath in, trying to fill the air into your back. So we want to feel the rib cage expand in every direction, not just expanding the belly, which many of us do, including myself by habit. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Now let's take a quick figure 4, resting on the foot bar, right ankle over left knee, right hand on the right knee. We're just going to windshield wiper side to side. I'll place my hands down for a little extra stability. Just release a little bit of that tension in the glutes and thighs that we just built up. We'll do the other side. Left ankle over right knee. Rocking side to side. You can press away on that left knee if that's helpful. Good. And when you're ready, we will roll up to sitting. We will switch to 1 heavy spring and 1 light spring. Now, I'm going to remove my foot bar. I have this Balance Body Metro IQ Reformer, which I love. It's going 4 years strong. It's still working like the day I got it. But one thing is I have to remove the foot bar. So I'm going to do a little TV magic, take this out. If you can lower your foot bar, please do that now. All right, so while you're doing that, we also want to place the headrest back to the upright position. We will move on to our hands and straps. So while you're getting situated, I'll evangelize a little bit. Hands and straps will be some work for arms, which will be more incidental, but a lot of core. So we'll really feel the abdominals and the back start to wake up as a measure of doing some of this. We'll see some familiar movements that we might have begun with the thighs and straps. So spoilers, you will be quizzed later in the session. When you're ready, hands in the straps. We're going to reach all the way up to the ceiling. Give yourself a little space between the shoulders and the shoulder blocks. We will start with the feet down on the sandpaper. So you'll see I'm pulled away from the stopper. I'm going to begin raising one leg up to tabletop and placing the foot back down. Raising the other leg up to tabletop and placing the foot back down. So this is our very simple, basic version. We're doing our best to stabilize through the core as I fidget without moving the carriage. But if that feels a little too easy for you, which good for you if it does, we're going to raise the legs up to tabletop and instead take it to a toe tap down toward the spring wall. Exhale, bring it right back up. Inhale to tap down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, bring it up. Alternating sides. So we're keeping the shoulders rolled wide. Your spine can either be in neutral, and yes, I'm shaking if you hear it in my voice, or it can be imprinted. I'm working on some imprinted stuff these days because I really want to get my core stability improved a little bit. And you'll see my hands are over or in front of my shoulders, not back there somewhere. Good. One more. Good. Tabletop, we're going to rest for a hot second. Then we'll move into single leg and double. So this one's really good for stabilizing. Seems so simple, holding the arms up with the carriage away from the stopper, but it takes more than you think. So we're going to bring the legs up to tabletop. Once again, imprinted spine or neutral. Get comfy. We're going to extend the right leg forward. Exhale, bring it back. Left leg extends. Exhale, draw everything back in. So this can be 45 degrees. It can be as low as you can control. And what I mean by that is if you feel like your back is arching underneath you or your abdominals are bulging out on any part of this movement, that's a cue for you that you need to bring it a little higher or go back to the toe taps. Okay? So either way, pick your poison, keep your collarbone rolled wide, really focus on That stable core. Feeling your hip bones still pulling together. We're getting more upper abdominals now, of course. Last set. And last one. Good. Close the stopper with control. Let's just take a little windshield wiper of the knees side to side, shall we? Oh yeah, good times. And we're gonna go for some curling work now. So, as I fidget, arms will come up over your shoulders, legs to tabletop. We will begin to press our hands into the straps just to start warming up the back and the shoulder girdle a little bit, get ourselves used to this sort of pulling straps type of situation. Once that feels comfortable and we're able to do it with control, say, because I got a little into momentum right there, we will begin curling up with the head, neck, and chest. So the same rules apply. I just need to get away from the shoulder blocks a little bit. The same rules apply. We want to make sure that the abdomen is drawing in and up, and we're not yanking on the straps to get ourselves into this curled position. So I'm moving into extending one leg forward at a time. You can keep the legs in tabletop if you like, or you can experiment with extending the legs out. And again, that can be 45 degrees. It can be that low position that I've been exploring more. Could even be extending up to the ceiling if that is what's floating your boat. But pick your poison. Your head can stay down as long as you would like as well. We're going to take 2 more and then rest for a moment. Good. Okay, feet come down to the sandpaper or the foot bar. If you've left it up, rock your knees side to side, rock your head side to side. So arms will extend up over the shoulders, legs to tabletop. We're going to try to take this whole next series in a curl. If you don't feel like the curl is serving you, you can always keep your head down, okay? Still worth doing. You'll still get a lot out of it with the leg movements. I will cue you on starting now. So hands will press down for everybody. Curl up with your head, neck, and chest if you can. Extend your legs forward, whoops, wherever you can. We're going to go for our single leg stretch variation. One knee into chest and switch. Arms are reaching forward. Almost feel like your middle fingers are trying to reach the wall in front of you. Our breath pattern, we're going to inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Every time the legs move. And again, this can be high if you needed to. Your head can stay down. 2 more sets. And rest. Good. Feet down. I'm starting to sweat. How about you? Rock your knees side to side. Question your choices to start moving today. And then talk yourself into continuing to do it. Because wait, there's more. Next up. Remember the lower and lift that we did? Where the thighs were in straps and the legs went down and up? We're going to do that same thing, but now the hands are going to be on the straps. So head can be down. Ideally, we want to try to find the curl if we can. Legs are going to be in our nice extended position up to the ceiling. Deep breath in, exhale. I think my straps are uneven. That's what's causing this challenge. Good. So curled if we can. Keep reaching the fingers forward, lower the legs. Exhale, lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So again, this can be small, doesn't need to be big. As much as you can do is what we want to do without compromising the stability of the pelvis or without hurting your back. Inhale to lower. Exhale, lift. 1 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Very good. Bend your knees, rest. Rock your knees side to side. We'll move on in just a moment. All right, so releasing the straps and placing them wherever they live. We're going to come to a nice oblique series that is really good for stabilizing through the core, especially through those side abs. So we're going to grab onto either the shoulder blocks, or if we have little pegs that the straps sit onto, we can hold onto those. Elbows are going to come super wide. Now, I'll tell you right now, your elbows are going to want to come up here, and your shoulders are going to want to grip, and you're going to want to keep all this here. You think you want that. You don't really want that. You want to really roll the shoulders wide, keep the elbows down, and really feel like your upper back is anchoring you down into the mat without the shoulders shrugging. So what are we doing? Let's get on with it. Like the tabletop. We're going to bring the knees right over the hips. So we don't want the knees all the way over here. We don't want them out in space somewhere. We want the shins parallel to the ceiling. We're going to squeeze the inner thighs like you're holding on to like your paycheck. So once you squeeze your inner thighs together, you're going to let your legs go over to the right. Exhale, bring them back to center. Now we're going to send the legs over to the left. Yes, your hip can lift. That's totally normal, totally fine. Exhale, bring them back to center. So you're probably asking, man, my shoulder really wants to lift. Is that okay? And a little bit of lift makes anatomical sense, but we don't want to really let it go too much because we're going to start falling off of the reformer, right? So we need to still stabilize a bit through the right side of your body in order for the obliques on that side to be able to do their job to bring you back to center. So you might be able to tell from my tiny but maybe obnoxious breathing in between words that I'm using my exhale as I come center. So the reason for that is every time we exhale like we're blowing up a balloon or blowing out birthday candles, our deep core muscles automatically kick on to engage, as do our pelvic floor muscles rather. So exhaling on the hardest part of an exercise is a really good technique for adding more stability to your core very easily, but also for relieving core pressure so that you're not putting yourself at further risk of things like hernia or prolapse. So breathing, it's actually important. Who knew? Good. 2 more each side. And last set. Once you're even on both sides, hug your knees in toward your chest. Rock your hips side to side. Roll your shoulders back. We'll roll up. We'll get ready to move on to our plank series. So for this one, we'll bring the foot bar up. We don't necessarily have to use it, but if you're feeling daring, you certainly can. Once your foot bar is back up, we're going to select a spring. So generally, for your planks, we want to be on either a heavy spring, a light spring, or an extra light spring. Now, if you are advanced, super advanced, you can do these without springs, but I assure you, it is extremely challenging. The lighter you go, the less resistance you have, the harder it will be to execute the sequence. So choose wisely. Your heavy spring will be the least taxing option, the light spring will be medium, and the extra light spring will be probably very challenging for most of us. So for this one, we will be down on our forearms facing the poles behind us. So we can do this one in a couple of positions. So we can place the toes curled under up against the edge of the platform or the sandpaper, whatever works, or we can bring those curled toes up to the foot bar, which will make this a little harder for us, okay? So we'll do forearms down on the bed, hands wrapped around the shoulder blocks. Imagine that you're pushing the mat away, so we really want to engage the serratus. Before we go, we're just gonna start lifting the knees up and finding a little hover hold. And yes, for those who have done my workout with Kendrick, where he taught me, I'm biting his style on this one, I love it. We're just trying to hold the carriage still. And we'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we'll extend the legs forward. Holding our plank here, we want to find a diagonal line from the crown of our head to our shoulders, to our hips, to our heels. Using all of our core muscles to stabilize. Good. We're going to hold for 10 more seconds. Still breathing. And last one, now we're going to pulse the elbows forward, moving the carriage, pushing with our hands, using our back and abdominal muscles to support this. We've got 5, 4, last 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring your elbows back under your shoulders, bend your knees, close the stopper, come down to your child's pose. Hips to heels, arms reach forward. Bend your knees. Rest your chest. Down, big breath in and exhale. And again, deep inhale and exhale. Nice job. Now for this one, we're gonna go for our pikes. Advanced folks, I'm gonna give you another option. If you feel comfortable on your forearms with your toes up against the bar, I will also suggest you can bring your hands to the shoulder blocks behind you for our pikes. If you do so, you're going to place your hands wrapped around the top of the blocks, press out with one leg, come up with your other leg, and then as we pike, you're going to keep your hands here. Everybody else, forearms down on the bed. For most of us, we'll either wrap our toes around the platform or place them on the footbar, and then bring the forearms down to the mat for our pikes. So when we're ready, shoulders over wrists, we're going to push up through our forearms if we have our forearms to the mat. Lift the knees, extend the legs straight. Now here, we're going to pike up, fold at the hips, look for your toes, flatten the back out, look down in front of your arms. Good. So we pike up, use our abdominals to control the carriage as you move back, and then bring your eyes to the mat in front of you, moving slowly with control, taking care not to tuck the pelvis under. Imagine that you're flaring your sit bones out and back as your hips rise. And back down to your plank. Good, we come up and back. Good, let's go for 4 more. Three. Final 2. My advanced folks are still piking 2, even if the hands are up on the shoulder blocks. Now, down to your plank, we're going to pulse the hands forward and back, moving the carriage. 8 more. This is 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders back over your elbows or wrists. Bend your knees, come all the way in. For the folks who are doing the advanced variation, bring one knee down to the mat first, and then the other. And let's continue on. Okay, I'm a little winded, not gonna lie, but we'll move on to our side plank. So same setup for this one on the springs. If you felt like whatever you did for the knee bends and the pike was good, we can keep that here. We will come kneeling onto the mat. We're gonna bring our feet up against these shoulder blocks. Now, if this feels crazy, you can always peel back to a version where you're kneeling with the legs stacked and trying to keep a straight line in the spine. That's always fine. If you're able to push it, we're going to bring our right foot forward, flat down to the mat. We're going to come up to the toes on that back foot, your left foot. Left hand is centered along the foot bar. You can place your hand onto your hip. Try to bring your shoulder over your wrist before you get started. And you're going to press out to your side plank. Now you can hold here and leave it at that if you like. If you want to, you can bend your knees and extend out. Bend your knees and extend out. It's incredibly hard for me. This one is not my strength. Bend your knees and extend. You can also reach your arm up above your shoulder, should you so choose. Good, we've got 2 more. Last one. Good, and bend your knees, bring it all the way in. Oh, let's go to the other side. Get it over with. Good, let's come to the other side. We'll have the left foot forward, the right foot back this time. Right hand on the foot bar. We're gonna come up to our plank, trying to keep the right shoulder over the right wrist. Yes, I'm stalling a little bit. When you're ready, hand on the hip. We're gonna lift up the knees. Come to your side plank. Either hold here if this is enough for you, or we're gonna bend the knees and extend. Bend the knees and extend. Bend the knees and extend. Of course, you're always welcome to bring that arm up on the top if you like. Bend your knees and extend. 2 more. And rest. Very good. Hands down to the foot bar and bring your knees down to the mat. Press back, pushing the foot bar, moving the carriage away. Hips come down to your heels. Big breath in. Come up with a flat back. Big breath in. Exhale, lower down. Let your shoulders relax. And come up. Good. Bring your right hand a little more center. You're going to press out. Take your left hand off the bar. Thread the needle. Reaching under the torso. Left hand reaches to the right. Feeling that twist through the thoracic spine. That rib cage area. Left hand comes back to the bar. Right arm reaches down and under. Twisting through the torso. Relaxing that top shoulder. Looking over to the left. Reaching that right arm over. Both hands to the bar. Big breath in. Exhale. Articulate up through the spine. And thank you so much. You did it. How did that feel? Was that difficult? Either from like a technical perspective or from an endurance perspective? I want to know all about it in the comments. And what else do you want to see? Right down below. I'm always curious. If you are not yet subscribed, you must subscribe. I post new workouts all the time. And please check out my membership. I have over 85 exclusive workouts. I post weekly workout plans every single week. There's a bunch of bonus content like restorative work, stretching, mostly things you're not seeing on the main channel. It's all there and it's all good. The link is in the description box down below. And thank you to my membership supporters, all 155 of you as of when I recorded this video. I so appreciate your support and I'm so happy to see all the new members here. Welcome. Extra special thanks to the folks who have been with me for 6 months or more. I so appreciate your loyalty month after month. And big thanks to the folks who have been with me for over a year. Some of you almost 2, which blows my mind. I could not do this without you. I appreciate every last one of you. Thank you so much. And I will see you next time.